So in this little video, I just want to show how I restore plastics so you can turn something like this into something like this. So for the first step here, we're just going to go ahead and scrub all the dirt off. That way we can kind of clean it up and not have to do as much work. I'm using a melamine sponge here, or a magic eraser, and basically it's just got a light abrasive in it. And that's going to kind of scrub through the oxidization. It's going to take some elbow grease, but it'll get through it. It'll kind of make it all smooth, and then we can go ahead and polish it. So once you're done scrubbing with the brush and the magic eraser, you should have a kind of dull sheen to the whole thing. So we can see here there's still a little bit of fading up here, so I could chase this a little bit more. And you can see where the stickers were because it's actually raised up from the original plastic because it's actually degraded down. So that is something that's interesting. So sometimes things like that won't come out. But you can see over here, I could work on this a little bit more. So I might go ahead and keep scrubbing a little bit. With something like this is a plastic from 2006. It's still savable. However, if you have some super old plastics and they've started to crack, they may just degrade, and there may be so much oxidization that you're not able to just get through it with just a brush or a sand even, and you may just need to replace them. So I went ahead and touched that up with the sponge, and you can kind of see that all that oxidization is gone now. So now for the next step, I'm using Meguiar's PlastX, which is a plastic polish and cleaner. I've had pretty good results with it. It can sometimes get a little weird. You have to be careful if you're going to use it with a buffer. I'm going to use a drill buffer, and you have to go kind of slow because if you go too hot, you can heat up the plastic and cause issues, and it'll get kind of gummy. It won't ruin it, but it'll just look a little weird, and you'll have to wait for it to cool down and fix it. So just take your time, go over, make very slow passes, spread out the heat, don't go too fast. So we'll go ahead, do the PlastX, and then we'll do a little buff after and see how it goes. So I use this cheap 3-inch drill buffer. It's literally $9 on Amazon. I'm actually going to link everything I use in the video in the description with an Amazon affiliates link. So if you do want to buy something, it does help with the channel, and you can restore your own plastics. So here you can kind of see how it's gumming up. That's just because it just kind of builds up, I think, with how it polishes. So anytime there's a good amount of buildup, I just go ahead and start hand buffing it off. So we'll get that off and go ahead and do another round and then see how it looks. So that was the second pass and buff, and then we'll do, basically I just like to, I don't know, the towels don't always like to pick up everything, so I'm just going to go ahead and rub it down like this, and then go ahead and do a clean buff, a finished buff I should say, with a clean paper towel, and we'll kind of see how it turned out. So I would say that is a pretty good sheen for an old oxidized beat up plastic. So I'll go ahead and buff the rest, and then we'll go ahead and see what the final results are. So this is our end product here. We can see there's still some, shadows from the old stickers that have been on there for 20 years or whatever, but basically this thing is looking 20 times better than it did, and it'll kind of do the job. Some of these plastics are impossible to find. This one's for KLX 125, and they just don't make these plastics anymore, so very hard to find. So really the only solution is to try and save them if they still have life left. Luckily this one had no cracks. You can see it still has a couple bends in it that kind of permanently will stay there, but overall it's looking pretty good. Basically 3 simple steps: clean it, scuff it, buff it, and you're good to go. If you did find this video helpful, I would appreciate a thumbs up, maybe a subscription. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. But go ahead, comment any questions, and I'll see you in the next one.